Great. So my name is Max Levine. I'm the co-founder and CEO of NICO, which stands for the Neighborhood Investment Company. We're a neighborhood investment company. We're based here in Echo Park in Los Angeles. And the premise of NICO is it's about creating a new local economy that's built around a fair way for neighbors to invest in housing together. But today I want to talk a little bit about football. I'm not a huge football fan, but I am a fan of one team in particular, which is what we're going to talk about for a few minutes today, which is the Green Bay Packers. And I don't know, how many of you may or may not be familiar with the Green Bay Packers, but there's a few things about the team that make it, pretty singularly unique in pro sports. The first is, I'm trying to time it for the slide. The first is really that, if you think about the city of Green Bay, it's the 157th largest city in the US. The rest of the teams in the NFL are all concentrated in the top 50 MSAs. So from a population standpoint, the city really shouldn't have a team. Second, the team has sold out every home game at Lambeau Field, with the exception of a couple where they weren't permitted to have fans recently because of COVID, every home game since 1959. It's the longest sellout streak in pro sports. And then as the picture shows, right, it's a cold place to sit in a stadium outdoors, right? So one of the things that makes the Packers unique is that Packers are owned in large part by members of the community in Green Bay, by Green Bay Packers Inc., which has broadly held local ownership. You can see the photo on the left. The Lambeau Field frozen tundra hat is next to the hat with one of the cheeseheads saying that he's an owner of the team. So this idea is really core to what I'm passionate about and what the team at NICO is passionate about. The idea that instead of a stadium full of fans cheering on their team, you have a stadium full of owners cheering on their team. And this idea for us is something that is tremendously powerful, right? And we believe, and I think lots of folks believe, that local, broadly held local ownership is in part what has enabled such unique outcomes for this team relative to its peers, right? And so that idea of ownership is, to us, deeply connected to the idea of agency, right? So as an owner, you have the ability to be part of decision-making. And decision-making doesn't mean that as an owner, you have to decide to make every penny possible. The fans in Green Bay, the owners, what they've decided to do is make sure their team stays in Green Bay, right? That's the priority there. And so the question is, if you are an owner and you have agency, what do you do with that? And what other places can you learn from the Packers? So at NICO, we're trying to take that idea of broadly held local ownership and think about it in the context of neighborhood, housing, and real estate. So this idea of a new local economy for us is built on a foundation of trust, inclusion, and equity, built for the people from the neighborhood up. And that's a lot of words, but what it basically means is what would happen if in a neighborhood, instead of having wealthy homeowners and renters and sort of divide, you had thousands of local shareholders, the way the Packers do. So here in Echo Park, we've launched the world's first neighborhood REIT, neighborhood real estate investment trust. We own 3 rent-stabilized multifamily buildings in Echo Park. We're the first neighborhood REIT in the country, and we're also the first housing REIT to actually organize a benefit corporation. That means that we measure our success based on balancing financial returns with social and environmental impact of our model on stakeholders. We're open to local investors and national investors starting at $95. And to us, that is key to trying to create a neighborhood full of owners. Thank you.